Mentioned earlier in the newscast, a judge says that he will decide within 30 days whether the state's new school voucher law violates the Indiana Constitution. Lafayette School Superintendent Ed Eiler is among those who filed that lawsuit against the voucher law. He joins us now after being in Indianapolis for that hearing today. Dr. Eiler, thanks so much for coming in. It's good to see you. Kind of characterize what happened today in the courtroom.
Today, the judge heard motions for summary judgment that were submitted both by the plaintiffs and by the defendants. The summary judgment is basically an argument that says our case is so compelling that you should grant a decision based upon the merits of the argument, not have a bench trial, and so the judge listened to the arguments on the submission of the summary motions today.
Now, you've been at several of these hearings. Have you ever been called to testify about this case?
No, there isn't really a factual issue that requires testimony. It's really a question of interpretation of the state constitution, and so most of it is handled through the submission of briefs, which makes a legal argument.
What's your position? Why do you feel that this voucher system is unconstitutional?
The arguments related to the voucher law are very, very complex. There are lots of parts and parcels to it. I think that there are several reasons, but one is from the taxpayer's standpoint, do you believe that the framers of the Constitution in 1851 intended for tax dollars to go to support religious schools? That's the bottom line. And whether it's a religious school, it's only for those of various faith traditions. It may be going to a school with a different faith tradition than your own, and you may not want that, nor some people may not want the money going directly, since the direct benefit is for the inculcation of a particular set of religious beliefs, which may or may not be in agreement with one's own personal religious beliefs.
Let's take a look at what the Attorney General put out right after this hearing ended today. The scholarship funding is directed to students' families, not to the private schools, and the program does not violate anyone's rights. What's wrong with his position on that? The money goes to the family.
Like we said, the arguments are complex. The issue is what other courts have ruled is that the benefits that go to the school, if they're basically indirect benefits of not a sequential or consequential amount, then that's constitutionally okay. The question is there direct benefit to the specific application to the teaching of religious beliefs, and is that support substantive or not? And we believe that the support is substantive, and it goes to the direct purpose of the school, which is in part to teach the religious beliefs of that particular religious tradition of the school.
All right, unfortunately we're out of time, but I'm guessing that either whoever wins this particular section of the case, it's going to go on above that.
I think that's a safe assumption.
I would think so too. Dr. Ed Eiler, thanks so much for joining us today. It's good to see you.
You're welcome.